collaborative, and holistic manner. We as a department are embarking on this journey, a journey of change together, change in leadership and in culture. Our collective commitment to safety is a must. In order to continue to achieve the 6 pillars of 21st century policing by building trust and legitimacy, policy and oversight, technology and social media, community policing and crime reduction, education and training, and officer safety and wellness. Our department strives to continue to serve as a nationwide model for constitutional policing while also continuing to build upon the success and progress we've already seen. The following 3 goals will be instrumental in shaping the future of our department and the way in which we protect and serve in the city of New Orleans. I will ensure public safety with 1, improving public safety through meaningful partnerships with efficient use of resources, retaining, recruiting, and creating a positive work environment, and creating an evolution of systems and processes that improves the efficiency of the department. Violent crime has been increasing throughout the country, and the city of New Orleans is no exception to this trend. In 2022, we experienced an increase in violent crime and ended the year with 266 murders, deeming New Orleans a major city with one of the highest murder rates per capita in the United States. We found that in most of our violent crimes, firearms were used in the perpetration of these violent acts. We also have seen an increase in property crimes, which attributed to an increase in auto thefts and auto burglaries. Violent crime, namely homicide, yielded a considerable decline in 2019 and in 2020, due in part to limited access to normal daily routines and sheltering in place. However, in 2021 and in 2022, the city experienced a significant increase in all violent crimes as the mayor's shelter-in-place proclamation and curfews were rescinded. Under my leadership, the New Orleans Police Department has established a collaborative effort with our state and federal partners, Louisiana State Police, ATF, FBI, DEA, Homeland Security, the U.S. Marshal Service, Secret Service, and the U.S. Border Patrol. NOPD, along with these agencies, are strategically deployed collectively in areas throughout the city to target violent crime. These strategic deployments have been and will be based on the collection of analytical crime data. The goal of this collaborative is to disrupt violent crime in the city of New Orleans. This collaborative will increase visibility, traffic stops, gun arrests, drug arrests, and the apprehension of subjects wanted for violent crimes and decrease the number of auto thefts and auto burglaries. These deployments have already yielded 16 narcotics arrests, 31 weapon seized, 39 felony arrests, 5 misdemeanor arrests, 8 property crimes arrests, 9 felons in possession of firearms arrests, and 6 fugitive warrants arrests for the month of January. More recently, this collaborative effort arrested 4 individuals for multiple property and weapons crimes for a total of 7 guns seized. But what's alarming for me is 2 of the weapons were machine guns and 1 weapon contained a magazine with a drum attached that housed multiple rounds, and 3 of the weapons were stolen. Also yielded through our partnership, U.S. Attorney Dwayne Evans issued a federal indictment on a joint investigation by NOPD and ATF on a New Orleans resident for alleged possession of approximately 100 machine gun conversion devices. We are also collaborating with our federal partners to create a list of 50 individuals who are responsible for multiple violent crimes. Once these individuals are identified, we will work together to apprehend those offenders. With the help of Mayor Cantrell and the U.S. Marshal Service, they will dedicate additional resources to assist us in apprehending individuals with active arrest warrants. We have also partnered with LSP and ATF on an in-depth analysis and investigative steps on all I-10 shootings since 2019 to determine if there are any possible connections or possibilities for arrest. We are actively participating in the Mayor's Violent Crime Task Force to aid in investigations and outreach to the public in a holistic way. We're utilizing the Ring Neighbors program and encouraging each citizen to sign up for this program. We will continue to partner with Crime Stoppers in efforts to obtain vital information on crimes through anonymous tips. And we want to thank Ms. Darlene Costanza for that. We will continue to meet with clergy, like the men here, Bishop Love, Jonathan Everett, and my priest, Father Johnny Gibson. We'll meet with elected officials and community groups for their support on sponsoring engagement surrounding youth events such as midnight basketball, youth empowerment panels, and integrated youth peace walks. My Field Operations Bureau will evaluate crime stats daily, weekly, and adapt schedules, posts, and responses accordingly. It will use the MAX meetings to ensure all operational units are aligned and engaged in the prevention of violent acts and apprehending those responsible for violent crimes. Utilize VOWs to immediately locate and apprehend active warrants and wanted individuals in violent and vehicular-related crimes. District captains and executives will confer with appropriate criminal justice system partners, the district attorney, probation, and parole upon arresting these individuals that are repeat offenders and responsible for the inordinate amount of crime. We'll also partner with the district attorney in making new strides in armed robberies and carjackings, to have those meetings that we have with our homicide unit already, the same type of meetings that we have prior to trial, the pretrial conferences. We're going to make those available for our armed robberies and also our carjackings. And the Investigative and Support Bureau, effective immediately, the Auto Theft Squad will enhance all Kia and Hyundai arrests for prosecution. The Crime Lab will be notified to respond and process all carjackings as well as Kia, Hyundai, and vehicle recoveries and/or arrests. Identify investigatory leads for multi-hit NIBIN hits and cases that cross district or parish boundaries. Identify groups and hierarchies within them. Pursue the appropriate prosecution in a jurisdiction. Either it'll be state, federal, or local prosecution where applicable, and serves justice. Our chief strategist and my deputy chief of staff will collaborate with external partners to help improve the efficacy of our investigations and response to crime trends. We'll use RTCC cameras and LPR readers in an enhanced way, and also in their placement. Identify best practices and initiatives that have worked similar in jurisdictions, and make proposals for potential use with NOPD. Use the study of bait cards and potential benefits of NOPD. Coordinate with PSAB and ensure within federal monitor compliance. Work with the Office of Gun Violence Prevention. Collaborate with our community engagement unit on youth initiatives, and replace criminal activity with opportunities for growth. And our analytics section will provide preliminary stats on a weekly basis with 28-day and year-to-date totals, and provide the executive core with a daily tracking crime, historical context for citywide crime and districts, identify abnormalities, trends, and provide dashboard and dynamic tools to support operations. Through the data, we will identify prolific repeat offenders responsible for an inordinate amount of violence or vehicle-related offenses. And that's our stolen vehicles and, of course, our auto burglaries. Public Information Office will ensure the preliminary stats are posted on NOPD News on a weekly basis for the public, and continue to promote and share responsibility of solving and preventing crime by sharing videos, wanted individuals, and leveraging Crime Stoppers and the anonymity of its offers our communities to help make us our respective communities safer. Professional Standards and Accountabilities Bureau, they'll collaborate with the Deputy Chief of Staff to ensure policies and procedures are implemented within consent decree guidelines where applicable, and will monitor data quality. Our Public Integrity Bureau will continue to support and monitor all our transactions and encounters to maintain the professional and integrity of our communities, and what they expect and it is what they deserve. A Management Services Bureau will support the efforts of NOPD by ensuring our officers are equipped with the appropriate equipment and tools to effectively perform their functions, increase the alternative police response output for property crimes to alleviate workload for field personnel, and thereby improve response times to priority crimes. Ensure that technology supports the members of the department, maintaining officer safety as a top priority. As for the second goal, retaining and recruiting and creating creating a positive working environment, we have made a critical and expeditious assessment of our recruitment process and started to streamline that. When we first started in December of 2022, we only had two recruits. Last Monday, we had a total of 19 recruits into the police academy. We are also reaching out to all those officers that resigned or retired in the last 2 years. What I had my executive team and my command staff do is reach out to those each of those people individually. They both had a list of 10 people that they had to reach out with in efforts to try to get those individuals to come back and rejoin, or even see why they left, to make sure we address those issues. The streamlining of that process with continuous feedback is definitely going to yield dividends for us as far as our recruiting effort is going. We're also going to partner up with local universities and criminal justice programs for recruiting and internship opportunities. We have hired 30 civilian members this year, between the end of last year and this year. There are several civilian positions that are not filled at this time. We also just added 25 positions for our APR unit. So a shameless plug, we are hiring. Please come and join the NOPD, whether you do it as a civilian or a police recruit. It is very important, the wellness and safety of our officers. So we hired a director of our OAP program, and we're also looking to hire 2 social workers for that program. Through the mayor, the city council, and the CAO's effort, we have purchased over 600 vehicles so that our officers can have the necessary vehicles that they need in order to do their jobs. It was very important to the mayor and the council that we make sure we get this done for officers so that everyone eventually can have a take-home car. We're also evaluating the testing of fentanyl. When we confiscate those that type of drug off the street, we're rethinking that whole process because, of course, everyone knows just recently 2 of our officers had to be administered Narcan because they had recovered this, was arresting someone for it, and trying to test it and place it into evidence, and became sick. So we definitely are concerned about the safety and wellness of our officers. So we are addressing that situation, and we're upping our training on Narcan and administering Narcan and how we may have to use it on one another. We're also doing improvement projects with community partners, helping us improve the looks of our station, making repairs so that our officers can have a vital, vibrant workspace where they can come in, be comfortable, write reports, and the likes. My third goal, creating an evolution of systems and processes that improve the efficiency of the department. And we have, again, started implementation of the LPRs in the new police cars to help fight crime. We are partnered, again, with the RTCC to access all of the LPRs that they have put on the I-10 to fight crime. And every district has gotten at least 20 brand-new computers. So we are serious about technology. We also have purchased the Morph Ident system, which is a fingerprinting system that can help you identify someone that is either deceased or a homicide victim, or just to identify anyone if you don't have any identification for that person. We are invested in drones. We have not used them in any capacity just yet because we have to write policies to use those drones, and they have to go through a whole process through our PSAB, and also we have to consult the monitoring team on the use of drones. We're also considering a bait car and a robot cop. As of recently, as the last thing the mayor and I discussed about looking into is the robot cop. We are definitely pleased and happy that we have one of our homegrown Louisianians as our director of our crime lab, Dr. Kelly. And I know she's going to do great things. We have already recently got the approval of accreditation for the lab by ANSI and ANAB, and that was very difficult to achieve. It's the standard. And yet again, NOPD, we conquered that. We also are going to upgrade our dashboards to analyze crime on a daily basis and deploy resources efficiently and strategically. There are also some immediate changes in our PIB section, and that's to make sure that the revolving cases within a more reasonable time frame, as opposed to letting them drag on and on. They're going to be timely. And we're also going to be working with on monitoring and resolving old cases and expediting future ones. We're also going to make sure that our hearings are handled timely. In the past, we've had to cancel hearings because a deputy chief could not be there, because another meeting came up or another issue came up. But we have put things in place to make sure that that doesn't happen. We have alternates that are going to be put in place just in case one deputy chief may not be able to make those hearings. And that's just along the lines of doing things in an ethical way, making sure things are done in a timely manner. And so that whole process will be fair to everyone and above board. And we're going to continue to remain transparent. We're going to continue to be an open book over here. We want to continue to keep collaborating with our community partners. We want to collaborate with our state, federal, and even our local partners with the Sheriff's Department, who helped us out as far as getting more people to work Mardi Gras. This is a collaborative effort. We're not going to police our way out of violent crime. With all the things I said, with all the strategies that we're going to use to reduce violent crime, we still need everyone here, the officers, our community partners, our clergy. We need everyone here. We need you. At the end of the day, this is a holistic, a whole neighborhood, a whole community approach. and we need everyone's help. We're invested. I'm determined to make sure that violent crime is reduced at its lowest in the city of New Orleans. I just ask for your support, your patience. Give us time to make this work. This did not happen overnight. And although a lot of challenges lie ahead, I know that the dedication, commitment, and resilience of our officers and our residents will help us all rise to this occasion. Thank you.
Okay, I'll open it up. Gino?
So, according to the Metropolitan Crime Commission, I guess good news is carjackings already are significantly down.
They are.
But car thefts are up.
Mhm.
Why do you think that is? And what do you and your department plan on doing to get that number down? And then what can drivers do?
That's definitely true. The number of auto thefts are up, and it is definitely in correlation to a video that came out about how to steal Kia or Hyundai, because most of those cars are Kias or Hyundais. So again, we're using that collaborative effort, looking at the data, making sure we see where those cars are being dumped or where those cars are being stolen from. And we're doing surveillance in those areas. We're putting that team together in those areas to apprehend those subjects, having somebody in the RTCC while they're out there looking for people taking cars or whatever, telling them in real time, hey, this guy just broke in a car, and they can go right to that location. So that's what we're doing right now to quell some of the auto thefts.
And then for drivers, when you all speak to these victims of car theft, what have you all been telling them, and what can people do to prevent this from happening?
Well, definitely for the Kias and Hondas, we've told them to, put an additional mechanism on there, the club, if you will. And we've also reached out to Kia and Hyundai, and they've sent some of those locks to us, and we've been giving them out to the community. And it's very costly to change that mechanism where it enables that type of theft. We found that out too. So most people aren't going to be able to afford to do that. So the only thing that we can tell them is to make sure they put an extra mechanism on their vehicle to make it harder for those people who are out there committing those auto thefts to take their vehicles.
Okay, DSU?
There are a lot of people who just feel disheartened about all of the crime happening in New Orleans, whether it be murder or carjackings. What would you tell them about what's to come when it comes to the future of New Orleans?
What's to come for the future is New Orleans is a whole lot less violent crime, which is a whole lot less crime under my leadership. We have a team here that's committed. My executive team, my command staff, everybody is all hands in, all boots on the ground. They're committed. We've had several talks, conversations, and everybody is all in. We're as tired of the crime as the public is. We want to make New Orleans safe. We are really committed to public safety, and that's what you can tell them.
One more question, just when it comes to additional measures, I know we're in carnival season, we're getting closer and closer to back to school. Any additional measures in making sure that violent crime doesn't, as we get into the thick of Mardi Gras?
We're still, doing the same thing we're doing, keeping those people in the district, making sure our residents are being served as well on the parade route, as well as at the district level. So the only thing we can do is keep pushing that way. We still have all our federal partners. They all are committed. We had a joint meeting with U.S. Attorney Dwayne Evans and all the federal partners, and everybody has bought in. We are all in to make this work.
Missy?
Oh, thank you. So in September, NOPD partnered with consultants who drafted an 88 case report to help guide the department. Is this crime plan derived from that at all, or did they weigh in on this crime plan?
They didn't weigh in on this crime plan, and I haven't seen the report you're talking about.
Okay. I have one other question. For a lot of cops, what kind of capabilities do they have?
We don't know. We're just we're looking into it. It was something that during, I think, the mayor's conference that Mayor Cantrell went to, she happened to see it and wanted to explore it. So it's just a exploratory type of thing. We're looking at every possible piece of technology we can get, because we've been told and supported by the council, and they're going to give us every tool that they possibly can to make sure that violent crime is reduced. And we're here to learn. We see new things. We have some other things that we're not using just yet, but we're testing and training on. Star Chase is one of them. It's used for stolen cars and stuff like that. So it's a number of things that we are looking at as far as technology is concerned.
All right, Dave, go ahead.
Hey, Superintendent.
Hi.
So you talked about NOPD strategically deploying with its federal partners.
Mhm.
I know those strategic deployments aren't necessarily anything new for NOPD, because
Mhm.
you guys have been working with
Mhm.
ATF and Border Patrol in the past, but can you talk about what has changed under your administration with those strategic deployments? And then as a follow-up, you also mentioned that you're creating a list to identify most wanted active arrest warrants. Talk about where you are at with making that list, and once that list is created, how quickly you're going to start, taking action within that list.
As soon as we compile that list, we're doing it as a collective. They have some people, we have some, and we're going to create that list, and we're going to get started immediately as we create the list. And yes, we have partnered before, and it's just a energizing of it, thinking about it very differently. How can we do better than we did the last time? And that's all of us putting our heads together, pulling all our skills together, them providing as many resources as they can to us, because we don't have some of the resources that they do, and really going out there every day tackling it.
And just a quick follow-up, is centralizing detectives something that you're looking at?
Not at this time.
Okay, last but not least, Channel 4.
Hello, Chief. How you
Hi.
doing? So, in the areas of recruitment and technology,
Mhm.
I've heard some things that are relatively new.
Mhm.
But on crime fighting, I didn't hear anything that isn't basic policing 101.
Mhm.
So, max meetings, identifying hotspots, working more closely with feds, DA. Isn't that all already part of what the NOPD is supposed to be doing? And where was that, for the previous years before you became interim chief?
Well, when COVID hit, we weren't doing a lot of proactive policing. It was basically reactive. Most people were at home in their homes, so there was not a lot of proactivity out there to do, and I think we got away from it. So it is back to basic gumshoe policing, just like you said, getting with our federal partners, doing those proactive pieces again. We hadn't been proactive in some time. We had been reactive for a couple of years, and I think that's in direct correlation to why our crime was going up. So we had to turn that around and go back to the basics, get back together, get our collective back together and go back out there and doing what we had been doing in the past to bring crime down.
Well, of course, the COVID restrictions were lifted some time ago prior to you becoming elevated to
Mhm.
interim chief.
Mhm.
Was this a matter of leadership? You mentioned that you used the word re-energize.
Mhm.
So was this maybe a matter of putting the right people, and that's something you did do upon taking the position, is reshuffling your top command? So is this really a matter of different leadership to take this more proactive approach?
I think it was a number of different things. It was leadership. It was really listening to the men and women of the New Orleans Police Department to help make this work. Our former superintendent, I would not say he did what he could do. He did what he could do at the times. He went through some tumultuous times. So, I can't say what he should have done. I'm not going to do that because I think he did his very best. I think he did his very best with all that he had to contend with. Now, it's different. We've moved on. We have different leadership. We have different eyes on it. Some experience, some new eyes. So, and I think it's that collaboration, the old and the new coming together, the technology that we have access to now. I think it's gonna pay. It has already paid dividends for us. Our violent crime is down. The last time I looked at it, I think 28%. So I think we're doing what we need to do to make crime go down.
And if I could just follow up, you did mention something that I don't think we had heard previously, that the consultants did not weigh in on this. Obviously, Councilor Pichardo, John Leonard have been here for some time.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly consulting with the department in the city. So if they didn't weigh in on this, what have they been doing?
she asked me, did they weigh in on this plan? This plan is my plan. This is authored by me. This is days and days from day one, from December 22nd on, probably up until the last 10 minutes, going over everything that I could possibly think of to ensure that public safety is our number one priority, and to make sure that the reduction of crime is definitely going to happen in the city of New Orleans.
I heard if we were to read that, they're working more closely with City Hall. I know they're being paid by the New Orleans Police and Justice Foundation, but they're
Last
more
question,
closely with City Hall versus the department. What's their role?
They work here with the police department. They give us recommendations. Sometimes we don't always follow those recommendations, or we may think something different from those recommendations or enhance those recommendations. But they are purely a consulting firm. They do not run the New Orleans Police Department. They do not work for the New Orleans. I mean, they are not employees of the New Orleans Police Department. They are merely consultants.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate you coming out.
Good. Thank you. I want to talk to you too. Thank you.